Hi viewers, good evening. I am Jayaprakash, supply chain expert. In this live session, we are going to discuss about leadership in supply chain expert. So when you discuss about leadership, we need a leader to discuss. So in this studio joined Devi. She's a HR expert in training and development and recruitment. I request Devi to explain herself.
Hi, thanks Jay Prakash for giving me this opportunity. So, hi everyone. Hope you all are fine in this COVID reason. I think that has become a common point to discuss these days. So, would like to ask about your welfare as well. Yes, I have, as Jay Prakash was mentioning, so I have my experience into recruitment and also into the general HR role, which includes the training, employee engagement, and all the activities. Yes, as this role, yes, have been handling some leadership training as well, and I'm here to give you a brief about a basic understanding to know like what is the leadership skills and know who is a leader and all that. So to start with, I would like to go upon with this.
Okay. So
Yes.
question is that who is a leader? Because a lot of books, a lot of thoughts are there. For your perspective, who is a leader?
Yes. A leader first. A leader should be somebody whom everybody looks upon. So he or she needs to set an example. So there should be somebody who motivates the other people towards a common goal. So any leader, they should be having a very clear vision. So it doesn't stop with a vision. So you have a proper vision, and then to achieve that, you need to set clear goals, and also no, you have to plan it very well, the directions basically I mean, and the lead the team. So all these things are very important for a leader: a vision, goal, and how to work towards that, and also a leader team. So this is the basic principle for any leader, and it doesn't stop over there. The leader should also motivate the entire team to work towards the common goal, whatever he or she sets. So for which the interpersonal skills are very, very important. It plays a major role. Without it, somebody cannot be a successful leader. You might have a good vision, but if you are not really implementing it, you will not be able to achieve it. So as I said, when you motivate, yes, the interpersonal skills are equally important. And yes, leaders play a major role. So any organization, if everybody are working as an individual and no small teams and all that, you will not be successfully fulfilling the dream. So for that, a leader is very, very important, who will be heading and managing teams and work towards the organization success, growth, and plans. So this is what a leader is.
Okay, Sridevi, you have explained the who is a leader and then in a detailed manner. So for me, I link with that leadership in supply chain management. So in supply chain management, they have interact with the many people. So it is a one side is that inbound supply chain, the purchase, vendor development, and the inbound logistics. On the other side, warehouse logistics and distribution network. So the most of the people ask me a question whenever I discuss in any forum. The common question is that how I became a leader. So first thing is that when you're starting your career from after finishing college or 1 or 2 year experience, you should have that a cyclic job rotation should be there. Where the most of the people stuck there, they will focus on one area. For example, they work in a purchase department, they will stick to the year for a longer team. You will become a specialist. But when you move as a leader, you should have all the knowledge. For that example, in purchase department, material management, inventory, and inbound logistics, vendor development. On the outbound side, you should have knowledge on warehouse management and then logistics, your distribution network, whether it is a omni-channel or it is a dealer-based delivery or online-based delivery. So it should be in a cyclic manner. And I always quote my favorite mentor, Robin Sharma, book, who is the leader who had no title. So you cannot be sorry. There should not be the position defined. It is not defined who is a leader. You may be a manager, you may be a CEO of the company, you may be a project head, or you have joined the company today. The leadership is that take that responsibility and accountability inspire others. And what you should have a strong communication skill and communicate, inspire others. This is one qualities I always remember. And the second point is that you should be you have to adapt with the technology. The most of the people when you grow there, they're not training. The people you ask when you take in training, they will think that I have to think when I last done the training. So you have to adapt the technology. You have to adapt the training in supply chain. The recent trends are artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, how that 3D printing. These are the new things. You should be trained and be future ready. Yes, all the technology cannot be adopted immediately, but you should be future ready and understand what the market requirement. And the main the skill is that once you gain the knowledge, you have to improve the skills and then desire. And how the desire should be linked in an organization or in your personal life. This is all why I quote from that one book, The Seven Habits, End in Mind. So, what do you want to be in a long term? You should be in a long term player, not in a short term for a 3 month or 1 year. In a 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what is your vision? Then in an organization point of view, convert the vision is converted into a mission is converted into your annual plan, and annual plan bifurcated into a monthly plan. So the one important factors you have to follow is that the ruthless rituals. Wherever you are following that, one of the leadership quality is that you should follow that your work rituals. If you're taking a stop, it should be reviewed on a daily. For example, you're fixing a task. I'll review it 9 to 10. Adhere your own commitment. This is a mantra I always follow and teach to the people. Adhere your own commitment. When you commit, adhere that. Yes, yeah, it is not always adhere, but when you adhere to a 99% or 90%, it will give a credibility to you. So the people trust you. Yes, this person, when you give any task, you will able to complete, and it became a trustworthy. So I request you can explain about what is the leadership qualities.
Yes, thank you, Jayprakash. Yes, I think you have very well linked with what a leader, when I told you, just connected it very well and explained it according to the supply chain management and what is it that is expected of a leader and how he needs to be, right? So here in general, I am just going to brief about the qualities of a leader. Yes, so many of them think leader comes out only when somebody is not really experienced, probably at each industry it varies. Some of them think it is at 7 years, some of them at 10, 15, 20, it varies from where. So leadership is there at different levels. So at their level they can do. A small example before I even step into the qualities of a leader. We can see even from the school students, somebody is a school people leader or a class leader and all those things. So it's not that everybody have the same expression and all that. Out of it, some people are outstanding where they come, where they can coordinate. They very confidently go and speak with the class teacher, principal, everybody. They don't hesitate. So it starts from the childhood. It's not that only at the organization level. So the qualities come from there, and there needs to be an encouragement at all corners from starting from there. So even when you step into the college, as we see a lot of organizations and a lot of groups are framed, and there are some people who really lead it. And in office, yes, from freshers also we can see when they are under the training. So if it is a batch of 100 members, not all 100 are identified as leaders. There will be few people who really showcase their leadership skills. So it is at all levels. And now we are going to speak more about highlight more on the leadership at a higher level with somebody who is a lead, a manager, and then step into the next higher level as well. So for all these things where the first point or the important quality, as you also highlighted, is communication. Communication plays a very major role in the leadership skills. Communication, most of them think communication is only like whatever language, like if it is English where you communicate between your employees and all that, they think only about the verbal written communication. No, that alone is not communication. Communication is how you communicate that makes a lot of impact in that. The communication has to be very simple and very direct. For example, if somebody has 25 years of experience in an industry, and they are leading a team, and their team members might be of 5 years experience, 10 years or 15 years or whatever it is. Like whatever experience we have, we should not speak in the same language to our subordinates. It is always we are not sure that they will be able to understand that high level language. So let our language be very simple, and the language has to be very direct instead of being a very complicated one. So that is a very basic point in communication. And the next step towards that is we should be a good listener if we need to communicate well. We have to be a good listener and also encourage our subordinates to speak. So you might think why it is you're talking about listening skills when you're speaking about leadership skill. Yes, you will get to know as I proceed further in this conversation. Listening. As you are a good listener, your subordinates will feel more comfortable in talking to you, and there are chances that you might give a lot of solutions. It might be on all fronts whatever they are speaking to, yes, and they will get a lot of confidence in you. So when you're first building a trust and confidence with them, so then they become very easily acceptable, like they can easily follow the instructions whatever you're providing. That is one upper hand for any good leader. So when your team is now accepting and ready to do what you are saying, that itself is a very big plus point. That's why I said first we need to be a good listener and also encourage everybody. And when you are citing examples on anything, on any concepts you are sharing to them regarding the high levels, if they are not always provide some examples. Example makes things very simple. So these are all the important points in communication. As I was saying, it needs to be very simple and direct. You have to be a very good listener, and also you have to provide everything with examples that make it very easy. And accountability. The accountability what a leader makes is very, very important. The accountability, see, we all work in a team and all that, so nowhere individual and all those things. So when it comes to a group achievement, everything, everybody needs to be cooperative and do it. So here what I meant by accountability is, example, let me just take it. If there is a project that is run through and there are some errors in the project and there is a bit of failure in the project, any good leader, what does he do? He or she, they take the blame, and they don't put the blame, oh, I didn't do it. It is my team who did it. I don't know how they did it, and that's why there is a mistake. A leader will not say that. A leader will take saying, it just has happened, we will correct it and give it to it. So the way you answer and the way you say it, when you're going to support your team this way, the team is really going to feel happy, and next time they'll be even more careful and they will be really supportive to you. So that is how you need to support your team. And taking the credit, it's both the blame and also taking the credit of it. So when there is some appreciations that you have successfully completed a project or a task and you are receiving appreciation, so a leader here doesn't take the credit here as well. He says, my team does that and we have successfully completed it. So these 2 points play a major role. And as I was mentioning already, the team will not really be more interested in working with you and will do the tasks that you have provided. So the blame and the credit game are very important. And one more point in accountability is you take the accountability. At the same time, you also need to recognize your team then and there. Recognition plays a very major role, and recognition can be in public. But when there is something you need to give feedback is very important, of course. Yes, in case if it is going to be a negative feedback, so probably it need not be made public. You can just call the person, try to understand what happened, and then give the feedback. That is definitely going to help the person. So we need to definitely understand we should not always put the blame on somebody and when it is done and not take the credit when it is success. So that is very, very important for a leader, the accountability part. So that is the second point. And the third point, vision. So I cannot say it's the third point. It is also the most important point. So without a vision, nobody cannot work towards achieving that. As I previously told, yes, a leader needs to have a clear vision, and the person needs to articulate it and say it clearly to his team. So if he is not able to convey it clearly to the team will not be able to achieve that as well. So you have a clear vision, but when you're not conveying it clearly, how do they understand and work towards it? So articulating it is equally important, and you need to own that vision with a passion. Okay, I have set the goal, it will happen. Let me just relax. No, things are not going to happen. So the person needs to persistently work on it and also work with his team and ensure that till the end of the completion of the task, the person is working towards it. So that is very, very important. You set a vision and you need to own it and you need to work with passion and drive till the completion of it. So all the 4 points are equally important. So that is very important. So I would like to quote a sentence here from John Maxwell. So what he said is, people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. So when you really are supportive to your leader, when the leader acts as like that, so before even you work towards the leader, whatever the leader says, you start working towards it. That is what I said. It all depends on how we act. The listening skills are also, as I was telling you prior. If you are able to be a good listener, the team will even start being more inclined towards you. And when you are setting a vision and you want their support, the team will definitely be supportive to you, and everybody can achieve success here. So that is the reason I was just quoting it here. So on the vision. And one more is positivity and confidence. Without positivity and confidence, you're not going to achieve anything. Yes, in any business, there will be ups and downs. We need to always be confident and positive to achieve towards that goal. And any situation, if a leader is handling well, the team will also work towards it. Let's say, for example, there is a downfall and you have a lot of stress. So how do we handle a stress? If you are so much, there is a stressful situation and your team is also stressed out of it, the boss or the leader needs to really stay cool and handle a situation. Looking at that, the team can look at it and they will also be handling it well. So it plays a very major role. So you need to really handle your team well. That's what I said. Your behavior and the attitude all play a major role. And one more point, as I was saying, the delegation of work. Yes, and this happens at a lot of times. Very important that we delegate the work. So we know a lot of work, we have a lot of experience. So we think, I know this, so let me do it. So if we start doing it, we will never complete and do it. So we should be very good in delegation of work. Assign it to the so very important, and you need to be less involved in each and every task. You should delegate to the team and ensure that you're regularly tracking it and following up with them and ensure that it is getting completed. So, and more than that, the most, yes, these are the important qualities of a leader. At the end, what I would like to tell is, for all these things, set yourself as an example. They should learn from you. That is what is very important. So as I was telling you, reiterating, communication, accountability, you should have a proper vision to achieve it, your positivity and confidence, and the delegation. So above all, you have to be an example for your team to achieve success. So these are some of the important points of a leader.
Okay, thanks, Sridevi. As explained to the audience in the starting, we call the expert delivered. So it is not this time is not enough. We need days of training and practice required, and then coaching from Sridevi is required. So I request anybody having any clarification, contact me to on the leadership. Okay, the one of the main point is Sridevi explained is communication. I want to share my experience when I joined a company 15 years back. So there is a quality compliant from the product supplied by the supplier. So I'm writing a big letter to the supplier. We have received the product, and then this is the reference number. All the thing it will come in a one page. Then my boss, my leader asked me show the letter. He understand this at a concept, but you explained that it be a simplest form. Then he taken the pen and drawn here one simple thing. What should be a okay part and not okay part? It is a simple on a cone. It coming in the pin parts. It is a ovality is there. So he mentioned a drawing. A okay part. It's a cone is a perfect circle, and then another is the ovality, a slight a bend in the cone. So when the supplier receives the letter or anybody, not a supplier, anybody see that photo, okay and not okay, immediately they can reiterate this is the issue. So the communication, what I written a one-page letter, but the message is in a faster way conveyed in a simple drawing. This is my learning. And then on the other point I want to touch upon is that minimalistic. I worked with the many leaders in the last 1.5 decades with FMCG companies, automobile, industrial, and the wind sector. The most of the leader are minimalistic. The one example I want to quote: few years back, the government of India introduced a GST. We have to communicate to the vendors. They have to take the GST registration. All the industries started giving the training to the vendor. They arranged in a bigger way. But my leader gave me three instructions to the vendor and the three instructions to that our in-house team. The communication is a 3 point communication. Point number one: apply for a GST, and this is the deadline for your GST registration, and it should be completed. And third point: without GST registration, your material will not be accepted. So this is a 3 point message, and for that, our team, that all the budget in the purchase team, the buyer has to collect the GST registration and upload in the our ERP system in SAP or Oracle, whatever the system. And point number two, in that a system should be a block. In the block means if the GST vendor is not, they are not registered for the GST, we are not able to do any transaction with the vendor. So all it is of the block, the code is blocked. And the third point is first time right. Whenever there is a first invoice is coming from the vendor, they will tally that GST number registered in the document and then in our ERP. So this made a simplest process here. When we look at other organization, when we discuss with other teams, they give a big training, but they miss the point on the process. So my leader set a process, a minimalistic process. It will explain in a such a way that 3 points to that outside team and 3 points to the in-house team. So the communication is very clear and minimalistic, and we not spend more time in that. So it is a part and parcel of the work it carried out. So this is from my intake from my leader. So my question is another question to you: who is your favorite leader? Because in your life we came across from our childhood, our parents and school teacher, college, and then our colleague and our seniors. And apart from the work, our political leader, scientific leader, or a mentor. Who is your favorite leader?
Okay, right. Thanks. So, like as you touched upon various sections, yes, I'm not getting into somebody in the outside world, but yes, somebody whom I have directly worked with, yes. If for that matter, the first leader I would say is my dad. My dad, I have learned a lot of things from him. So on the planning, timing, discipline, all those things I've got it from my dad. So I would definitely, always remember him for whatever I have learned from him. And the second, yes, on the work front, if you ask my boss, ex-boss, like my first job, probably I can say. So I was as a college fresher, so everything was new to me when I landed in a job. My boss, I really admire him. So he used to manage the team really very well. So he had it was an electronics based company where there were different departments and sections. So any department, any section, he doesn't write down notes. It is not that he sits in the front of a computer to check anything. So anything you say, he will remember everything and it gets recorded here. That is, I don't know how much GB of memory he has. It really gets recorded and he handle everybody. So every time we go somewhere to refer and then come, but he doesn't need to refer. Everything comes out of his mind. And I learned a lot from him in the sense that is when initial days, yes, when it is simple things, whenever I go to report to him or something, I used to remember things rather than always write down, that becomes a habit and all those things. Yes, we need to jot down important points so that we don't miss it out. But at the same time, no, we need to train our brain also so that it is active. Our brain has so much of capacity and all that we are not really using it. So I learned it from him that we really need to do it. And he handles the team really very well. And everybody likes him. And the most important point, what I have here is whether you do a mistake also, people will feel free to tell him because he handles the situation very well rather than somebody being scared to even say him how he is going to react and all that. So he handles it really very well. So he is my great leader.
Okay, so I want to share my my favorite leader. Yes, the father is always inspiration. You also explained the time management. So, and then apart from my father, I want to learn from my daughter also, because when you can learn many things from your child, how they are keeping busy and then productive. Because when they want anything, they will achieve it, whatever the way. So
Yes,
that's leadership quality. If you want, you have the desire, you have to ensure that it is happen. Yes, it's, the
very true.
may have a different attitude and mechanism, but at the end of the day, if you check any child or their quality will start from there. And then I want to share my experience of my favorite leader is my ex-boss, Mr. Prabhakar. We worked in an automobile organization. From that, I learned how the training is very, very important in our career. So on one fine day, he asked and discussed your he told that you're going to attend a 3 days training in finance management next week. I'm surprised why this person is sending a training in finance. I am in a supply chain guy. I want to perfect in that one to strategy on supply chain management. So then you do only one thing. You attend the training. After the training, you come and we can discuss. I went to the training, and then it is a 3 days program in finance management. And the trainer asked, who are from the finance, who are not from the finance background. I raised my hand, turning left and right. I'm surprised. I'm the only person in that of 30 people. Then I would know after knowing that I'm nervous, how I am going to answer that. And training, if somebody asks a question, I will be in uncomfortable situation. After the introduction is over, the trainer had a chit chat with me during the tea break. He told only one thing: we are going to talk about in a practical way. So there is no financial jargon or no formula. We are going to discuss. Yes, there may be a calculation will be there. That all in a business practical case studies. So after that chit chat, I'm very comfortable. He told a practical case. So the practical case means anybody able to understand in a easier way. So he talked about what is it business, and then how the business ran, what is the profitability, how to calculate, what is the PBT, what is that EBITDA, and all the variables. And after the training, I met my boss. Boss, I attend the training. He asked only one question: how you're feeling now? I told yes. Earlier, I am thinking on only a supply chain person, and now it comes as a business leader. As a business
Okay.
leader, you have to undergo a training and then understand how the business runs. Not
Hmm.
not focus on in your own area. It should be a cyclic manner. I already explained. And if you, as a finance person, they were very strong in numbers. In supply chain person, you are interacting with the many people, n number of suppliers. So you also very strong in numbers. And then you're talking about memory that my boss having a huge GB of memory. He remember that anything approval before 10 years. You will tell, I'm also surprised. I asked a question, now you are maintaining. He always tell rituals you have to review on daily basis. So whatever you think and recall should be on daily basis.
Okay.
And this is my experience. And my
Uh-huh.
last question to you: what the leaders should not to do, because the most of the people do, they you should at least the people talk about what should be the quality and what are the activities the leaders should not be do.
Right. Yes. 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 Now we discussed about like what are the qualities of a leader. So in simple, yes, most of the time we can say yes, opposite of all those things, but that is not the only thing. Yes, goals setting, as I told, it's very important. Yes, nobody should be there without a clear setting. And as the work comes, if you start doing it, that is not right actually. You need to definitely have a clear goal, as it mentioned, of the quality. So of it, there are a lot of people, as the task comes, they will just target for that particular task. They want to complete it. So that should not how somebody should work on. And one more thing, as I'm just comparing here with the points which I told for the quality of a leader. As I said, the credit and the blame game. Similarly, like that, a leader should never insult or they should never degrade anybody in the team. So you should always keep motivating the team. If you are going to degrade them or all those things, they will feel less interested and you will not get the desired results. So end of the day, we want the desired results. So we should never do that. At the same time, don't insult. At the same time, even the praise part, even for a small thing, when somebody is doing, you are just praising them each and every time. That is also not. You need to be really balanced. Don't blame them too frequently, nor praise them so much. You need to be really balanced in handling this situation. And also for any behavior or the act of the team members, again, you need to know how appropriately you need to talk to them, and what is the expectation. You should set clear expectations to them. So it should not be that you don't, as I said, yes, if you're not setting expectations, you cannot expect it from them as well. And at the same time, yes, meetings are very important, but not at the same time micromanaging and getting into the details every time. Many will not like doing that part. Once you do it, your team is also supportive to you. You need to have that confidence in the team. You should not be micromanaging regularly. That is again going to demotivate the team, and they will not be able to give you the desired output on that. And again, you have to be proper in decision making, as I said. So as the progress goes in each stage, it should not be that you, as I was mentioning prior itself, that let us see how the next step moves and next step moves. There is something called as backward integration. Backward integration here means, like, if you want something to happen, for example, in the month of July, if you want something to happen in the month of September end, by 30th September, you want to achieve something, you will fix there. Then for achieving that, your September 20th, what should be completed? September 10th, what should be completed? August 15th, what should be completed? This is called as backward integration. You should work, plan out everything, and then do it. It is not that today I'm doing it, next week I'll complete that, after 10 days I'll complete that. So that part is not going to work. Always you should have what you want to achieve, fix a date, and work on the backwards so that you will always be able to achieve it. So that is how you need to be. And before I close it outside, yes, as you need to be in the good books of your team as well, only then you can definitely achieve success. Not a very dominant character or somewhere where you force people to do it, but let them like the job and do it, then definitely it will be a success. So never do that part of it. So this is what I said is a very important quality, which is overall which a leader should.
Okay, Sridevi, you explain in a structured way in every common people, whether it is a supply chain person, is from manufacturing, is from a sales, production, every person can understand whatever you explain in a structured way. So, with this, my last message to the audience: the leaders are not born; they are trained over the period of by daily rituals. So, if you want a leader, first improve your knowledge, then improve your skills, and align your skills to your long-term agenda. And Sridevi also mentioned in a structured way, based project management way, your time and plan should have, and then a daily review mechanism. And then don't do a micromanagement to your teams, so that will demotivate the team. So one of the things, you can train the team where they're lagging. If you find over the period, then you can give the training. So this is the final message from my side. Thanks for joining with this session. So a lot of sessions coming on different topics in supply chain management. Thanks for support.
Thank you, Jay Prakash. Thank you.